Hi, my name is Intalekt.
My name is Ayeisha Raquel.
And this is Behind...
This is Behind the Beat.
Behind the Beat with the Blues Project.
The Blues Project and Ableton.
Hi, I'm Intalekt.
Hi, I am Ayeisha Raquel.
And this is Behind the Beat with the Blues Project. Sorry, what did your voice just do?
I don't know. I was hoping that you would just firm it, fam.
I couldn't! Hi, I'm Intalekt.
Hi, I am Ayeisha Raquel.
And this is Behind the Beat with the Blues Project and Ableton.
My God.
Beautiful.
I'm aching, I'm hollow, I'm crying.
So, how did you become the man you are today, the musical man that you are today? Where did it start?
It started off in church, you know, where most of these greats start. Started off by playing keys. My mum and my dad were very conscious of, me learning instruments to make sure I'm not in the streets moving like a barbarian, isn't it? So the gallivanting, that's the word, thank you. Like a Galatian, but that is definitely not what it is. But anyway, that's what I was doing. I was never properly taught to play keys. I then kind of stopped learning because I was kind of like not really in it, too tough. And then I found my love again for keys later on. Like I said, in like around the time of like, I don't know, college, uni times, found production for myself, and I found myself in Ableton later on in that. And then after that, the game kind of changed from there, really and truly, once I got into Ableton. But like, with that, listening to Dilla, Thundercat, Flying Lotus, those kind of people, like those are like my...
I hear that.
Those are my people
I hear
I
that
look to, and I'm like,
in your music in a sense.
Yeah, man, just trying to make it dreamy, something special. I was making some whack beats though. Like in the beginning, I was making whack beats, bro.
Goofy ass beats.
Goofy ass beats, bro. Like there were beats like I was making music that I wasn't really enjoying, to be fair. And then I kind of found my sound, I found my people, and then I kind of catered to my sound. And then it kind of started developing from there. And then I found myself, into then production, artistry, then started rapping, and got into DJ, and then I got into radio, and then...
That's it all, y'all. It's crazy. The levels.
How was your journey into becoming the superstar artist that you are?
I was singing out the womb, I was singing out the womb.
Your first note was...
Yeah, it was great. You should have seen it. It was crazy. Maybe not.
Like,
but no, it was I literally have been singing since I could basically speak. And then, my dad does musical theatre. My mum just listens to, loads of music. I was just always around music. And I felt like I was just blessed with this voice. And I went forth to try and develop it, say things that I wanted to say. I started doing, open mics and stuff like that. And doing loads of covers, weddings, christenings, quinceañeras, you know what I'm saying?
The whole shebang.
And then, but now I'm writing my own music now. Making music with you.
Yeah.
It's great.
Right,
it's great. Right. Love that. So I came to you with Starving as a song already, but I wanted you to kind of make it into a full story, journey kind of thing, because that is what you do, very effortlessly. How was that day for you, looking back at it? Because it's been quite some time since then.
It's been a minute. That day was really cool. Do you know what? Let me not lie to you. I never told you this, but I was under pressure,
No way.
I felt the pressure. I was like, you know what? This is Ayeisha Raquel. Me. That
is mad.
My love for you in this thing, as an artist and as an individual, is just very high in it. So I was just like, listen, I have to deliver. For me, you came with the, not even that idea. You pretty much had a great idea of as to what you wanted. It was fleshed out. You were like, all right, cool. This is what I want. This is how I want this to go. And I was like, cool, I can make this happen. And then, I had, played a little 1-2 chord,
it happened.
beat, and it really happened.
It happened.
You know what? I'm really terrible at kind of recapping those kind of things sometimes, because
No,
you're
me
just
too.
in it. You're just locked in, and you're just kind of
couple
couple jokes and a few laughs later. You're just like, it's here.
Literally. The fact that it's actually, we're sitting here and we're talking about it now. And at the time, I didn't have any music of my own out at the time, and this is my first single. Being here, oh my goodness! What a moment! What a moment! No, it was sick, and the song means so much to me. I wrote it at a turning point in my life where I was trying to understand how to communicate with people, how to be honest with people, which is still such a difficult thing for me in general, because I have to know myself better and stuff like that. So it's a proper Yeah, man, it was a powerful time. It was a powerful song.
Yeah.
I'm glad that, we got to share that together because
It was special, man.
Starving basically stemmed from a conversation that I had with someone who was being very honest with me, and it felt like I was being prompted to do the same because that's not something that I do very easily. Especially as someone who's really trying to figure out themselves on a constant basis, almost on an obsessive basis, nearly, because I want to be the best that I can be, so I have to know myself. But sharing that with someone and having a conversation where, everything's just out on the table and stuff like that, I was inspired to write a song that could inspire other people to do the same and to just at least practice that in their lives, because I feel like honesty is very difficult to start off practicing in general. And I think that feeling of being heard and understood, I wanted to put that in the song. And I knew that you would capture that because you move me with your music. Do you know what I mean? You create a movement right here. I'm always crying in the studio.
I can't lie.
I'm always crying in the studio. I'm always crying every time this guy plays music. And so it just made so much sense because that is what I want to make people cry. I want to make people cry. Do you know what I mean? Like, lay it out.
How did you interpret, Ayeisha's vision and, I really want to bring out that emotion in people. I want to make them cry. How did you interpret that?
I think for me it was about, for me, I just tried to do my job, which is not to try and be in the way of the artist's vision. Like, I try to not be in the way of what you're trying to portray and what you're trying to give across. Like, I'm just like a little soundtrack just under it, and allow you to kind of say your piece. And so I think with the chord progressions, with the, the very atmospheric sounds and like the very bits of foliage and sound in between, like the kicks and the claps and stuff, like it allowed me to kind of it gave me the space to give you the space, if that makes sense, to then go and just say your piece. And also kind of like I really wanted to kind of give you that, because a lot of the stuff that you made prior to that was a very kind of like up-tempo, kind of upbeat stuff, as far as the features you had done anyway. But as far as for you, I wanted you to really get into your bag and get into those pockets and really let them know that you can.
No, you gave me the correct platform. It was great. I had so much fun with that song. So, thank you.
Did the thing, fam.
Yo, what's good? Intalekt here. Blues Project, Ableton. And I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown on how I made Starving. So normally my beats can start from anywhere really. They can start from either the drums, they can start from a chord progression, or even a bass line, or even some just atmospheric sounds. But with this one, we started off with the drum beat. And I wanted something quite ballady, but also something quite trippy at the same time. So certain sounds like your ride simple, I got like very much from like a ballady kind of slow jammy vibe. But then I've got, very current sounds with your kick, snare, and your snap. And with that, I just tried to figure out a groove that could be something quite dystopian, something quite swingy, and just enough, to give some space to Ayeisha to really like just fill in those pockets. The drum groove I kind of came with was almost like a 3/4-esque, but in 4/4, if that makes sense. So if I show you real quick, it was kind of like a kind of like that, and then on top of that, then I'd play some chords, really get some like really beautiful pads. I don't know if anyone's ever used the Prophet 5, but like one of my favorite synthesizers, which I've got over here, and I literally just flick this open. What I would tend to do is I mess around with the parameters, mostly the filter with the cutoff. I take the sharpness off of that, so it's a preset called Bright Squares, and I literally just take off just a bit, most of the high end. It just kind of gives it a very soft sound, and had a little play around with some chords. Starving me. Obviously me on the vocals. Honey, I'm promised time. Dying. Don't tell Ayeisha I can do this because I robbed the tune from her still. But yeah, that was pretty much, and it's just two chords. Pretty much two chords. We didn't want to overdo it, and it gives enough like those two chords I think are enough for Ayeisha to just go crazy in between those two chords, because she's very she knows her voice, number one, and number two, she knows how to like run through scales and different forms of scales as well, which was just super sick. I think the money shot for me was the bass. So with the bass, I just used the massive, which I love so much, and it's just the name of it's so nuts because when you say it in sentences, it sounds very nuts. It's it's called Finger Mad. So when I open and I press Finger Mad, it's very, very lovely. It's like, again, a lovely rounded off bass. But when I'm actually putting it, when I'm playing it alongside the song, it's actually in the pocket. So I don't actually play it on the one, if that makes sense. So I'll play it along. I'll play along with it so you kind of have an idea. Do you know what I mean? So there's my groove. Do you know what I mean? Just in between. So rather than having it on the, which I thought would be cool, but we thought we'd try and give it something else, something different, something fresh. Because with my production, I like to kind of just venture out and give something different. So bass line is just kind of just coming in and out. So just like a I'll just bring the bass in here so you have an idea. You know what I mean? Just a nice little bounce. And then the beautiful bits as well, like I was saying, foliage, like this is what I'm here for. Like it also adds to the mystique and adds to like the I guess the atmosphere, the sound that I'm trying to give Ayeisha. And then on top of that, we've got the chords, some more chords again. I love my Rhodes. And last but not least, actually, one thing I didn't touch on, the drums. So one thing I love to do with my drums is to incorporate a drum loop. And this drum loop will actually be an actual drum loop, but I will, just mess around with it. So the drum loop I had was this bad boy here. Which I think was really nice and I really, really liked it. I'll take the filter off. So, but what I did with it, I actually did some EQing on it and I just took out the low end and allowed it to become almost like a percussive kind of like in between while I was making the beat. And then what I then did after that was pitch it down, so then turn into that. So when I'm then playing the beat, see what I'm saying? And it just fills that gap. And then becomes its own little thing. But yeah, and so with all these elements put together, with the drums, the pockets, the melody, the chord progression, the bass, pretty much comes to this. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed.